Now, 27 Sports with Alec Ausmus.
Only 4 teams in Major League Baseball have 50 or more wins right now. The Red Sox, the Yankees, the Astros, and now the Brewers. Well, the rubber match this afternoon against the Twins was seen on Facebook. Not quite the offense as last night, but part of it. But playing the Badgers is no walk on the beach either. Wisconsin's defense comes at you in waves.
Alec Ausmus joins us live from Lambeau Field with more on this developing story.
Well, simply put, Jennifer, it's time for change. That was the message today from Packers president Mark Murphy after firing Mike McCarthy last night after that loss to the Cardinals right here at home. But what that means is there's an immediate search for the team's next head coach. Historically, Wrigley Field is a tough place for Milwaukee to find a win. That wasn't the case today. The Brewers came into the Windy City and stunned the Cubs in Game 163 to clinch a division title. Hi, Amber. Now, by the sounds of things, it sounds like that winter weather is in full swing in Wisconsin right now. Well, down here in Miami, let me tell you, we had to go out of our way multiple times today to reapply sunscreen. Okay, it was a hassle. Well, it's all eyes on Milwaukee tonight. This is the lone NBA playoff matchup. Now, the Bucks find themselves in a do-or-die Game 6 against the Celtics. I'm Alec Ausmus live in what was a snow-covered Buffalo, New York. Why not add a blizzard to that March Madness mix? But the Badgers are here with experience on their side. That's next. Just 11 days before the Badgers open their season at Camp Randall, all eyes are on sexual assault allegations involving wide receiver Quintez Cephas. Not only was he charged by the Dane County DA's office today, he was suspended by the university. The news of Cephas broke Saturday night when he tweeted out a statement saying he was informed by his lawyers that the Dane County District Attorney's Office intends on issuing unspecified charges against him. It might be an understatement to say former Packers lineman Jerry Kramer waited patiently to enter the Hall of Fame. After 45 ballots, the 10-time nominee finally broke through on his 11th chance. Now, last night he put on the gold jacket. Tonight he was officially entered into the hallowed grounds of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The Wildcats have a Baker on the ice, and so do the Badgers. Tarek Baker. This late in the season for the first time since 1999. And for their return, they get to play from the comfort of their home floor. Well, every year the Packers like to get out of Green Bay and go check out some other fan sites. Sometimes it's outside of the state. They call it their tailgate tour. And that brings us here to Verona High School. And as you can see, this place has filled up very quickly.
Now standing by with Alec Ausmus.
Yes, thanks, Bob, here with Ben Lundeen. Ben, hey, has it set in yet? State champions here for your senior season?
No, it just feels crazy right now.
And offensively, that's where I think the Badgers need to bounce back the most. Coming off arguably the worst game the Badgers have had offensively this year, and not just this year, but maybe in the last couple of years. Alex Hornibrook, not a great day for him. We know the stats, 7 for 20 for 100 yards, 1 touchdown.
Well, it's time for some high school football.
Yeah, it is.
There you go, Al.
Boom! God, he's got 4 years eligibility left. A week 9 of the high school football season marks the end of the regular season, putting the start to the postseason next week. Well, in the meantime, let's tee this thing up and head right in to week 9 and see who ended with the win. Well, we start Madison Memorial at Janesville. Craig, now with a Memorial win, they would clinch the Big 8 conference. Well, Craig, they get on the board first. Hand off to Ben Coulter. Grinds his way up the middle, finds the end zone.
Now, 27 Sports with Alec Ausmus.
What looks like a glorified practice has turned into a summer tradition at Lambeau Field. Family Night has now reached 18 straight preseasons, and for the 12th straight summer, a sellout crowd packed into Lambeau to watch practice. Well, they try to make it as game-like as possible. Introductions coming out of the tunnel and everything. The ultimate goal is not to sustain any injuries. Offensive lineman David Bakhtiari went down in a ball-moving drill. He was eventually carted off the field with an apparent left ankle injury. Well, there is still 11-on-11 drills, including a 2-minute warning drill. The offense, though, sputtered on a 4th down opportunity. Marquez Valdez-Scantling drops a pass from Rogers in the end zone, but either way, still a fun night for these players.
It blows my mind every time I come out here and see this. I mean, this is my 5th year. Crazy to see this many fans. I mean, even the open practices we have, I mean, it has to be half of what we have here now. So, you know, it's a beautiful thing. We know how you guys feel about your football here.
First year, I was all eye-watering and everything from the fans, but now I'm just ready to play for y'all and get these W's and just make y'all proud.
It might be an understatement to say former Packers lineman Jerry Kramer waited patiently to enter the Hall of Fame. After 45 ballots, the 10-time nominee finally broke through on his 11th chance. Now, last night he put on the gold jacket. Tonight he was officially entered into the hallowed grounds of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The two-time Super Bowl champion perhaps gave the best speech of the night. Everything from not knowing where Green Bay was on a map when he was drafted by the Packers to playing for Vince Lombardi. It may have taken far too long for this night to happen, but better late than never.
The only thing left at this time is for you to lead a life of quality and excellence and make this old world a little bit better place because you were in it. You can if you will. You can if you will. Thank you.
Well, the Cubs held on for a 5-4 win over the Padres this afternoon, meaning the Brewers needed to win tonight to stay just one game back in the Central. And that didn't seem to be a problem today for the Crew. Bottom of the first, already up a run. Bases juice for Travis Shaw. Will serve up a grand slam, part of a 6-run first inning. On to the third, Ryan Braun, he tees off for his 12th homer of the season. A line drive to left. The Brewers, they hang on for an 8-4 win. Well, in the prep ranks, perhaps 2 heads is better than 1 on the gridiron in Middleton. The Cardinals, they enter this season with 2 head coaches. As the high school football season draws near, it's business as usual in Middleton.
What I'm liking is we have a special group of guys here. Obviously, I've been waiting for it my entire high school career, but I think the juniors and seniors really create a nice bond together.
But this season, the Cardinals have a different look. They have co-head coaches, Tim Simon and Jason Pertzborn.
For us, we're just playing our positions, doing what we're told. Doesn't really make a difference for us at all.
We are trained.
Coach Simon enters his 15th season. His lead assistant, Pertzborn, threw his hat in the ring for other head coaching opportunities in the area. But Coach Simon knew something had to give to keep Pertzborn in the Cardinal family.
I've been coaching this would be my 15th year, and I just thought, you know, it's hard to do, but it's a sacrifice to make to open a door and let somebody else come in. His dream has always been to be a head football coach, and at Middleton especially.
I really believe that I can be a great head football coach, but to do it here where I grew up and played and came through, you know, it's just that much more special.
You always hear about team chemistry. That even applies to the coaching staff. Season starts August 17th. That's it for sports. We'll be right back. As the saying goes, practice makes perfect.
You're actually saying the wrong note.
Even if practice can take a while, under the direction of a perfectionist. One of the all-time greats at UW isn't always a star football or basketball player. This time, it's an 81-year-old band director, Mike Leckrone, in his 49th year at the university.
I'm the old guy here. I can move faster than that.
Known for a military style of practice. But each week, the game day payoff performance is worth it. In the 1960s, the topics of conversation in the U.S. were the Vietnam War and civil rights movements. Marching in any kind of uniform wasn't popular. In the summer of 1969, Leckrone took over as the band director at UW. At the time, interest in the band was at an all-time low, but where many saw a weakness, Leckrone saw opportunity.
It wasn't a great time in our country's history to put on a uniform and march around, and that's what we were doing, but we sort of tried to catch the spirit of school spirit, and that's really what we banked everything on.
After Leckrone took over, interest in the band grew immediately. But the biggest change came with the new energizing physical marching style Leckrone calls Stop at the Top. Band members' feet come to a 45-degree angle and point their toes, a new style for its day back in the 70s that UW has perfected today.
I noticed that I didn't get the energy that I felt I should out of the band, and so what we did is we put a little hesitation. as you bring the foot up and before you put it down, there's a hesitation, the stop at the top. It also gave us some individuality.
Next came the music. Many of the songs traditionally played at Camp Randall were not invented by Leckrone. He mastered how to play them and when.
So we've taken what were great University of Wisconsin traditions and then just try to play on them each time to make them more important and make them a part of what people expect. That expectation's very important to what we do.
Today, those expectations from Badger fans haven't changed.
Best marching band in the country.
I said anytime you can see Mike Leckrone on the ladder, it's a good day.
Leckrone hasn't escaped Father Time completely. He had open heart surgery earlier this year and lost his wife Phyllis of 62 years to illness back in August. It's his other love for doing what he does that keeps him coming back.
I don't look at what I've done as something that is a completion. There will be a point when it is complete. And then maybe I can look back and say, yeah, well, I was pretty good in those days.
From the marching style to the music, even a post-game concert that has turned into an event called the Fifth Quarter. Leckrone has transformed game day at Camp Randall, not with a football or a touchdown, but with music and a vision. In Madison, Alec Ausmus, 27 News. In a place where speed dominates, once in a while, slow and steady can win the race.
I've been doing it so long now that it's just fun.
Evie Handylin knows her way around the Madison International Speedway. She lives just up the road as well. In 1969, Evie and her husband sold 5 acres of land to Sam Bardis, then the owner of the racetrack, to expand from a quarter mile to a half mile. Still known today as Wisconsin's fastest half mile.
They wanted to make the track bigger, and the only way they could do it was to get 5 more acres, so we sold it to them.
And ever since then, the Handylins have had a lending hand at the racetrack. At 94 years old, Evie has been their janitor for over 40 years.
It's funny, when we were talking about buying the track, Terry Kunis that sold to us told us that Evie was part of the deal.
And a deal they received. Race after race all summer long, you'll find Evie doing her job.
I have cold water in the ice box for you when you need it.
There's that motherly aspect to her that she goes, you know, the flowers need to be watered.
I wash the sinks and the urinals and the toilets.
You know, she'll leave me little notes that this toilet isn't working right or this board needs to be fixed.
With a brand new roll for the races.
At a place where speed dominates, it's not always a winning race car driver that takes the checkered flag.
Seems like when they sell the racetrack, the owner would always say to the new owner, be sure to see Evie. I said, they sold me with the track.
In Madison, Alec Ausmus, 27 Sports.